algorithms, they look at the website, other websites that are linking to your site. So the more authoritative links you have coming into a site, the more authoritative search engines think that your site is as well. The list of referrals, there's again tools for that. So I've listed two here. Ahrefs is what we use in our agency every day, where you can just plug in somebody's domain. It gives you the list of all the domains and pages that are linking to that specific domain. So you should do that for your own site. You can see who is linking to you and to all the competitors as well. So you can see who's linking to them, who's sending them traffic, and who's helping them with SEO. And then when you've downloaded your competitors' links, you can go through that link and see are there any sites that they're getting links from where you could get as well. So maybe there's an article somewhere in a big blog that lists all the different products in a specific area that are good for some kind of problem. Your competitor is in the list, maybe you're not, but you can get in touch with that blog and tell them about your product and ask yourself to be added to the list. Or you can see that your competitors are very actively sponsoring certain events, certain organizations, and they get high value links from that. Again, it's worth looking at that. Maybe it's worth making some kind of investment that you can get a link back from that site. And also content articles. So your competitors might be actively writing articles to specific portals, specific blogs, and getting backlinks from there. Again, you can see their strategy by looking at the backlinks, and it gives you ideas on how to shape your own strategy to gain advantage there, or to be at least as good as your competitors and not lose out there. Yes, and yeah, the tools Ahrefs.com and LinkMiner. Ahrefs has a quite cheap trial. The tool is very, very good. LinkMiner, also very good tool, and it has a 10-day free trial to try out. Messages. So in order for you to compete effectively with your competitors, you need to know how do they present themselves, how do they describe the products. So in all the channels you've identified, you should go through them and look at several aspects of the text and the content they've had there. So for example, what is the headline message about the products they tell the audience? What are the key benefits they bring out about the products or services? What are the call to actions? Are they telling the consumers to go directly to buy? Are they asking to get in touch? Are they asking to download some kind of white paper about the products? You can also get a hint about what the sales process is there. And look at differences as well. So differences could be across markets. So if they're selling in different countries, the messages could be different. And also difference in messages across target groups. So they might be in some target groups, they might be saying one thing, to another target group, they might be saying something totally different, and it's important to understand that, like what are the messages and do they differ and how do they differ? And track changes over time, because all the companies are optimizing their strategy, they're changing their strategies, so you need to be aware of whether they're changing anything and how they're changing that. So if you have a good strategy, it might be part of your sort of routine to monthly or quarterly go over the main points and review everything. Have they changed the messaging in Facebook ads, for example, compared to previous month? Have they changed their focus in their content marketing? Are they suddenly talking about different benefits of the products? Are they starting to use different call to actions? Are they changing the sales process from that? So having an understanding and that over time as well, super important. And there's also tools that help you to track competitor websites. So there's one here, visualbing.io, which basically, when you sign up, you put in a domain, and then you can track whether your competitor's website or some sub-page is changing, and it notifies you that. So, for example, you can highlight their main headline, and daily the tool looks at it, compares it to what it was previously, and lets you know if that has changed. So this saves you time. You don't have to go through the website yourself, but you have a little helper to do that and notify on your email. Content. So here again, quite a bit of manual work, but very important. So make a list of the channels where they've published content. So content can be anything from text to images to videos, and content can be distributed in a very broad range of different channels, from social media, of course, different news portals, different newsletters, traditional media, their own website, and having an understanding on what kind of content and where do they distribute it. Again, this goes back when you have the content and you understand where what is, look for the same things we just talked about. Look for the messages. How do they present themselves? What do they say to the consumers? What keywords do they use and how do they target? Because again, if you look at a piece of content, if you see it in a specific portal, you can guess for which kind of audience that is, and you can see if the content differs from one target group to another. Analyze engagement with any content. We don't know exactly how well a content is working for a company and whether they get any sales from that, but what we can look very easily is how engaging the content is. So if they've done Facebook posts linking to a blog article, we can look at the likes, we can look at the shares, reposts, we can see what people comment, how much they comment, what kind of questions does a specific piece of content bring out, and this is all out there and you can quite easily get access to that. Last thing here is, which I mentioned before as well, a great tool for keeping an eye on competitors is Google Alerts. So google.com/alerts, you can set up alerts. You'll be notified every time a specific brand or somebody's name or somebody's products are mentioned in some page that is indexed by Google. So my recommendation would be that you add your competitors' brand name, their domain, their key individuals, and their product brands to the search. So every time, for example, if there's an article, a review article about your competitor's product, you will get notified and you can straight go and read what is talked about your competitor and whether that somehow helps you define or change your strategy for the better. Pricing, this is very important. Prices are, I think, quite dynamic and it depends. So if you look at competitors' website, we usually see the set price. Something costs 10 euros, 15 euros. But in reality, in the background, it might be much more complex. So we need to pick up the different crumbs about the pricing strategy. So the pricing strategy could be, for example, that on the website they show one price, but actually most of the sales they do are with a discount. And the discount could be through ads, which is visible, or it could be something they do direct offers. So trying to pick out those different signals and understanding what the competitor's pricing strategy is. So looking at the standard prices and their positioning. Are they high priced in the market? Are they low priced? Is that something they're competing on? Looking at the frequency and amount of public discounts that we can see in ads. So for example, looking at Facebook ad library, we can see the ads that they have live. We can look at whether they're offering any kind of discounts there. And also special offers. So offers that might not come out very publicly. So again here, for example, signing up for the newsletter, doing a trial with their product. I just had an example myself yesterday where I was testing a piece of music software and the offer they gave me is 50% lower than what is the discount price on their website right now. So actually I can see much closer by engaging more with their product and their trial, at what price they're actually willing to sell and are offering the product for sale. And a tip here, so you can place your competitors on a sort of pricing scatter chart. On the one axis, you'll have high price, low price. So how are they competing with price? And secondly, on the discount focus. So are they very discount focused and they sell by offering discounts, or they don't offer discounts? So there might be companies who, for example, have very strong brands. So they can sell their products at high price. They don't need to do any kind of discounts in order to say. So they might be in the top right corner. There might be companies who show out very high price to sort of give an indication of high quality product, but actually when it goes to the sales process, they're using heavy discounts in order to convert people. So anywhere here, your competitors might be landing. So when you do the pricing analysis and you have a better understanding of what strategies they use, you can map them out. And you can see, firstly, you can see like what is the sort of overall pricing situation in your market. So are most of your competitors placing in one of the quarters, or are they fairly out everywhere? And also then try to figure out where you should place yourself in order to effectively compete with them. So these were the 6 elements that we should look at for all of the different stages. So for some of the stages, some of the elements are not as important. So for example, in the awareness phase, focus is not that much probably on pricing. It's more about creating the emotion. It's creating some kind of connection to the brand. In conversion phase, pricing is key. It's very central. For message, it's the same way. It really differs. The message is in the first funnel